Uh, and this is the next generation. They can get online just watching TV. I remember when I first moved to Maryland, broke and everything else, I got this invention called Web TV, which was a little keyboard. It hooked up to the television and, you know, dial-up internet and whatnot. And I thought it was the coolest thing ever. And well, now they're being built right into the TV set, and it's as fast as your computer. The next wave of going online is really disturbing, and that is the newest cars. The newest cars starting in 2015, 2016 actually have some of the newer versions right in the center console, a little screen, and it allows individuals to get online. Now, right now it's for Pandora, music services, stuff like that, as well as your news, your weather, your sports. But with that capability, they're also going to be putting in browsers. Talk about distracted driving. You know, you're watching YouTube videos of someone flipping off a roof while you're going down Route 210 down here. So these are all the ways to access. We all know some of the common reasons: socializing, shopping, which leads to online banking. My wife has figured that out. Gaming, online gaming, and working. When we talk about socializing, some of the images up there in the little circles, when I talk about social networks, most people think of Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, stuff like that. There are so many more social networks that people are not even aware of. Pandora, which is internet music, is a social network because it allows people to connect with others, share comments, and share playlists with other users. So that is what I mean by a social network. It allows a group of individuals to get together and interact, whether it be sharing something, uploading, downloading something to another computer. These are where all the threats come, when you can interact with other users that you may or may not know. They talk about it, you know, the internet is information superhighway. Well, just like on any highway, especially after this winter, okay, there's potholes everywhere, there's dangers. Some of the social media dangers that our children and our adults, you know, a lot of people when they talk about internet safety, the kids are doing this, the kids are doing this. I'm here to tell you the adults are doing this as well. Spreading misinformation, spreading rumors. If 300 people see a post on Facebook, everybody takes that as being true, whether it is or not. But if 300 people see it, it's true. Back in the day, when we were in school, Sally, 5 people saw it. They spread it. Hey, Johnny kissed Sally. Okay, 5 people knew about it. Johnny could deny it. I never kissed Sally. You know. Now 300 people see it. Now it's a fact, whether Johnny kissed Sally or not. It's now a fact. So misinformation, online harassment. I'll go into that in a minute. Identity theft, hateful content. Hateful content is easily spread through social media, through the internet. We're seeing more and more, and more studies are being done that there is an actual internet addiction, an online addiction taking place. Not only with the young people, but you know, middle-aged people, whatnot. I mean, we gave my mom an iPad, and I think she may be falling prey to this now too, because she can't stop playing Candy Crush. Yeah, forget the good old drugs, plug them in. Plugs, not drugs. Download, I'm going to write that down. I'm going to try to remember that. That could be my $1 million slogan right there. And of course, downloading harmful files. Online harassment, we hear of cyberbullying and everything being, you know, that is the hot term now when it comes to young people online. For years, there was things the police could do, but it didn't have the teeth that it does now. Beforehand, we would have to go with regular harassment laws, which, you know, we would have to have a continuing course of conduct of hateful, hurtful messages, something meaning to threaten, annoy, or harass. Now, October of last year, I keep forgetting what year it is, October of last year, Maryland passed Grace's Law. It was named after a a young lady who killed herself after being bullied online. Grace's Law now allows us to prosecute and charge someone even if it's a one-time deal and they send a harassing type messages via any electronic device. It could be computer, could be text messages, anything like that, which means to threaten or place a young person under the age of 18 in fear of bodily harm. So it's a great law, and it gives us more to work with. In this previous school year, I have charged it twice already, so it gives me a little more bite as a police officer who deals with a lot of social media harassment. When we're talking to our young people, it's important they know who's looking at them, their parents, their teachers. It's important. A lot of young people don't understand what you put online stays online, and it's online forever. And whether they delete a comment or not, there's that ability to be saved. College admission officers are now on a regular basis looking at the social profile. And what I mean by a social profile is they hire these companies because where there's a will, there's going to be money to be made. Companies have now sprouted up that cull all the data from your Facebook, from your Twitter, from your Instagram, everything, to get what they call a social profile. And that is now given to the college acceptance officers. Employers can hire these companies, and that is your social profile. You could have the sweetest, most beautiful daughter like mine who just wants to help puppies and kittens, but online she's posting stuff about death metal and this and that, trying to be different online. That is who she is. She is not that sweet, innocent child anymore. She is, in real life she is, but that's not what the people looking at her online. Nowadays, their online persona is who they are. So what they put out there is what they are perceived as. Some of the dangers. Viruses. Viruses are very harmful. They get put on your computers. Now they are also, with the smartphones, yes, your iPhone can get viruses. Yes, your Android can get viruses. What that is, it's a harmful program that embeds itself into your computer, and it could be something as simple as just keeping tab on what websites you visit, all the way up to sapping your financial data. And to clear a virus out of a computer is a very, very costly process. One of the biggest violators for putting viruses on a computer is downloading music, downloading movies, and stuff like that from what's known as torrent websites, BitTorrents. I always ask my students, where do you get music? Because I know my kids, they're on each song. I ask, I look at their iPod, they have tons of music. I ask the students, where are you getting the music? Oh, we go to this website, we go to this website, we download this, we download that. They're doing this on their home computers. These things come attached with viruses a lot of the times. Is now someone using your home computer that you do your banking on, downloading free music, and that is a virus that's taken your bank account. I had a student, this was 3 years ago, where the parents contacted me because their kid downloaded music and also downloaded movies and wound up getting into their banking account, and they lost about $4,000 out of their checking account, all because their son wanted free music. There's really not much we can do with that. It's hard to figure out where it happened, when it happened, who did it. They were out of the money. That's plain and simple. Some of the methods that they're going to get, that these cyber criminals are using: spam emails. Send out 500,000 emails to people. Just flood your email box with stuff. Usually along, we're most familiar with it by just unwanted credit card offers, refinancing your home. Mark, we've heard you wanted to refinance. No, I don't want to refinance, but why am I getting 50,000 things? Every time you sign up for a website, you know, ESPN.com, and you click that little box, click here to accept terms. If you're not careful, there's usually a box that says do not email me special offers from me or ESPN or their partners. If you don't click that box, that's free reign. They sell your mailing list and your email box gets flooded. A lot of the times you don't know who they're from. Click on them. Once again, you have now opened the door to viruses. Phishing is a scam where they will send out emails saying that, you know, oh my gosh, my rich uncle just got kidnapped. He's in Tunisia. He has $12 million in gold bullion. I need a check from you, and I'll give you half of that. Yes, it sounds ridiculous as I'm saying it, but if they send out 50,000 of those emails and one person responds, it's worth it for them. And 99% of them originate from internet cafes overseas, down in South America, over in Europe, and all it takes is one little bite. Forget the name of the book I read, but it was all about the individual working, the cyber criminal. It was a novel, but it was fascinating that went into it. And they string you along. They just throw out that hook. That's why they call it phishing. They throw out the hook. If they get one bite, they're set. Spyware, once again, this is stuff that when you open unknown files can get onto your computer, basically monitoring what you're doing, what website is going on, what you're purchasing. Spyware is used by most major companies, Walmart, Target, when you go shopping, because they want to see your shopping habits. And this is why when you go on Facebook, the ads that pop up, or on another website, the ads that pop up, you're like, oh, okay, I'm kind of interested in that. Of course you are, because they know. Because of the spyware, they tailor what ads show on your page. If I went onto it, it's going to show me different ads than if my wife went on it. So one way to get rid of spyware, when you're on your Internet Explorer, go up to Internet Options, Clear History, go down and delete cookies, because cookies is where your spyware is. If you clear your cookies, you're eliminating the majority of your spyware. Malware is similar to spyware, but it is from websites that are not Target, that are not Walmart, that are not your offsite, your offshoot websites. And this malware is just, that is where the mal comes in. These are the ones that are taking information from you, your passwords, your bank account information, and whatnot. Identity theft. Online predators seeking your personal information. Keep your personal information offline. That is the #1 best tip that you can have. Social Security number, don't put it online. Unless you can, and I'll show you how to know that a site is secure, or as secure as it can be. But in an email, never include this stuff. Banks, sheriff's office, any legitimate company will never ask you in an email to reply with your personal information. If they do, that's more than likely some type of scam. Go on to either call up the company or go on to their actual website. Make sure you spell it right, because if you go to Target with 2 T's, that could be a bogus website set up to look like Target. And all of a sudden now you're putting your credit card information in. They'll take this information and use it into real life data. One of the biggest financial crimes, growing financial crimes, is identity theft of individuals between the ages of 16 and 23 years old. Why? Because the young people throw so much personal information out there. They are not leery about putting this personal information out there. Please stress to the young people how important this information is. When a 16-year-old somehow puts their Social Security number out online and an identity theft, becomes an identity theft victim, they will not know it until they go to apply for a college loan when they're 18, when they go to buy a car when they're 19, and all of a sudden they're told you have no credit. What do you mean? You haven't paid your bills in 4 years. I didn't have a credit. It says here you did. That is the growing area of identity theft, is individuals between the ages of 16 and 20. Some ways to keep yourself safe: protect your passwords. Password security is utmost important. If anyone has seen the news recently with the Heartbleed virus that was making the news, the Heartbleed virus was a virus that was introduced, and it basically sapped people's passwords. And the people that use the same password for every site, and I'm guilty of using the same password on numerous sites, they were exceptionally vulnerable, because if they got it off of one site, they knew they could use it with their spyware. They know what sites you go on. They now have your password to go onto those sites. So protect your passwords. Don't share them. Don't put them in any emails. And try to make them, I tell the young people that I teach this internet safety in the high schools as well. I tell this to young people. I'm going to tell it to everyone from the ages of 2 on up to 102. Make your password something that nobody's going to guess. All my passwords are 3 words, and usually whenever I sign up for something, I look around the room, and it could be plant, camera, clock, and then a certain 4-digit number. 23 is always my number. Football number, and one of my first girlfriend's softball number. Just a number I always wrote on my high school papers, and so I always have 3 words and that 4-digit number. No one's ever going to guess plant, camera, clock. I'm not even gonna. I the forget my password button, because I always forget my password. But it's a good way to make sure that all your passwords are different on all your sites, and no one's going to guess. Be aware of the sites you visit. Like I said, if you spell target with 2 T's, you're going to be taken somewhere else possibly. Be aware of the .com, the .org. White House. If your kid's doing a project on White House, don't let them go to whitehouse.com, because whitehouse.com is an adult website, or at least they've kind of shut it down a little bit now. But if they're doing reports, whitehouse.org or whitehouse.gov is the actual White House. So be aware of the sites you visit. Make sure you actually go to the site. Secure pages. If you see the first circle, you can tell a site is secure, which when I mean secure, it's legitimate. It's okay to put your credit card information, because it's encrypted, usually with 64-bit or higher encryption. So it's usually okay to use these. Now, we saw in the last holiday season, not even Target is immune from being hacked and information being given out. But this is one level that you can feel somewhat comfortable. If you don't see this, definitely don't feel safe about it. HTTP is what most websites begin with. HTTP : /. If there's an S following it, HTTPS, that means it's from the HTTP always slips my mind, but the S stands for secure. Another way to tell is the little yellow lock on the bottom of your toolbar at the bottom of your screen. That also indicates that a site is secure. Do transactions only on secure web pages. Check your credit report. Check your credit report. Every American is able to get 1 free credit report every single year. I strongly advise you use that. Now, you don't have to go to Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. You don't have to go to all 3 of their websites to get it. Best bet, go to annualcreditreport.com. That is set up by the FTC, and that is where you can go ahead. It's a secure site. You can put in your personal information, but that will give you your annual credit report. Check it. Check it for things. It's going to list every time you applied for credit, every payment that you made, every late payment that you made. If there's mistakes, get them fixed, or address them. Some other things: reply to emails that you only know the sender. If you don't know the sender, don't reply. It could be a phishing thing. It could be looking for you to open something and put a virus on it. And then, last but not least, use antivirus software. There's numerous ones. I will not promote any particular brand of antivirus software. There's, the expensive stuff that you can buy in the stores. There's also free stuff. The free stuff is usually not as good, but it's still antivirus software. I go on cnet.com, and that's a great website for anything technology-wise. And you can download programs there. It's a safe. They vet all the programs, and I just go on free antivirus, and I'll download the latest one, and I'll switch up every 6 months just because I like a different antivirus program on my computer. Update your antivirus software. When it tells you need an update, update it, because these threats, these viruses are constantly changing. And if you are a victim of identity theft or any type of harassment, report it. Report it to the police. We can take a report, we can contact the banks, and as long as we can establish jurisdiction and whatnot, we can help you. But the banks have the most bite when it comes to that. Biggest help, as long as you find it, and you find it early enough. And your credit card company. Print and save any documentation that you may find. That's going to be important in proving any type of identity theft. There's one other topic I want to just kind of touch on. If you have a young child, if you have a teenager or whatnot, please stress to them about pictures, putting pictures on the internet. I'm not necessarily just talking about naked pictures. Obviously, if they're taking topless or bottomless photos, that's never a good idea. These young people need to understand, once a picture is on the internet, it is out there. It's gone. You no longer can get it back. I would say on average I deal with about 2 cases of, oh my gosh, why did I put that picture out? Now it's being spread around school. I deal with that probably about two a month on average. And they just don't think. Please stress to them the importance of pictures. Here we have a picture of Officer Kaler and his lovely wife. I posted my picture on the internet, so what? I did a little experiment a few years ago. I took this picture and I gave it on a thumb drive to my juniors and seniors at my school at La Plata High School. And I said, I'm teaching an internet safety class, and I want to get it across that you shouldn't put your picture online. And they said, well, why? I said, well, I want to show them that an individual can take an innocent picture and do whatever they want with it. So they said, oh, we got you. They took my thumb drive. They came back a half an hour later laughing hysterically, said, here you go, Officer Kaler. So I said, oh, great. What do I have to look forward to? Well, they took that innocent photo. At first, they made me a pirate. I said, okay, that's very cool. I like boats, okay. I can deal with that. Then I looked, and they decided, how do we see Officer Kaler every day? How do we imagine him in our minds? And I said, okay, I get that. Yeah, I get that. And then the next one disturbed me. The next one made me realize, okay, I shouldn't put my picture online. Because these are kids, and they did it within 20 minutes, okay? I make an awful looking woman. I found that out by this experiment. But seriously, the pictures are extremely dangerous to have online. I had a case where, I won't talk too long, a girl picture online, one of her enemies took it down, did some photoshopping, printed out 250 Xerox copies of it with the caption, I have certain STDs, and then spread them around all the bathrooms in the school. So the pictures, I don't get. I mean, I get why people put pictures on the internet. I'm guilty of it myself, but I have my little family group on Facebook, and that's where I share my pictures. A couple of them get out to the public, but they need to know, once it's out there, they cannot take it back. Any questions, comments, concerns? I know I kind of breezed through it. It's, the internet is a wonderful tool. I am not here to bash the internet. I love the internet. I use it on a daily basis. I'm going to use it the minute I walk out here to see what the score is of my beloved Rangers.